welcome back to Amazing Grace. My name's Misty, and in today's show we're going to be making blueberry cobbler, homemade blueberry cobbler. So let's get started. So what we're going to need for our blueberry cobbler is going to obviously be blueberries. You can use frozen or fresh. We're going to be using frozen because we don't have any fresh ones today. We're also going to be using our little baking powder. And like I said, normally I'd use whole milk. However, we're out, so I'm going to be using heavy whipping cream. And we are going to dilute this because it's very thick. All right. You're going to need 1 stick of butter, which is going to equal out to a 1/2 cup of butter if you don't have sticks. So 1 stick equals a 1/2 cup. All right, so let's get to making this easy homemade blueberry cobbler. So first thing we're going to start with is we're going to put our stick of butter in our baking pan because we want to melt this butter because our cobbler is actually going to go inside the butter, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'll show you. Okay. And also you want to set your oven preheat 350, and mine's already preheated. So we got that in there, and now we're going to mix up our concoction. We're going to need to use, for flour, we're either going to use 3/4 to 1 cup of flour. So we're going to use, this is a 1/2 cup spoon. So we're going to do 1/2 cup, and then another, not quite a full 1/2 cup, not quite a full 1/2 cup. So 3/4 to 1 cup flour. Okay. Now we want to mix our sugar in as well, and we're going to use 3/4 to 1 cup of sugar, and I'm using 1 cup. All right. As for the baking powder, we want to use 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So 2, there's 1, 2 teaspoons. And we're going to do just a little pinch of salt. Maybe that's just a little bit more than a pinch, but it's okay. And now, for the heavy whipping cream. It's supposed to be 3/4 to 1 cup of milk. Like I said, we don't have it, so we're gonna dilute this down. And you don't want it to be too spongy. Your blueberry cobbler, you do want it to be a little bit juicy, or at least we like it that way. So what we're gonna do is just a little bit, maybe a little bit more, little bit more, little bit more. All right, and I'm gonna fill the rest of it up to the cup. And if I have to add more water, I can add a little bit as we go to get the right consistency. Now you can see it's not quite as thick. We're gonna pour that right on in there like that. And that might actually be perfect consistency. It's looking pretty good. So let's see.
Stir it up, little darling, stir it up. Whoa.
See, that's a good consistency there. See, just a little runny, not too runny, and it's certainly not too thick. Perfect.
Stir it up.
We don't want to get any of the clumps out, any flour clumps. Now, what we're going to need is 3 to 4 cups of blueberries. Some of them still have the stems on them, so what we're going to do is we're going to put ours in a strainer and check for stems. So 3 to 4 cups of blueberries. And I'm probably just gonna do 3 because of the heavy whipping cream being so much thicker than regular milk. There's 1. And I'm just checking for stems. 2. And if we need to add another little half a cup, we can do that as well. And 3. 3 cups. All right. Now, you don't want to mix your blueberries into your batter. We don't want to do that. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out our buttered dish out of the oven. And it's not quite done buttering, I should say, melting. So we're gonna let it stay in there just a little bit longer. But as soon as the butter's done melting completely, then we're going to move on with the next part. And our 1 stick of butter is melted, so it should look like this. And we're going to pour our batter inside the melted butter dish. Just get it in there evenly, all around the corners and in the middle so that it's not too full on one side and not like leaning like a cholo on the other. All right. So, should look like that. And now we're going to take our blueberries, 3 cups or 4. This is 3, because you can always add more. And we're just gonna place them on top. They'll sink. And if you feel like there's more batter than berries, go ahead and add that other cup or half cup. Whatever you feel it's lacking. And I'm gonna add another half cup. You're going to want to bake this for 45 minutes at 350, and about the last 5 to 10 minutes, I like to sprinkle a little bit more sugar on top. So we're going to set our timer. Okay, so it's still not done, you can see.
Wiggle it just a little bit.
But we're gonna put a little sugar, we're gonna sprinkle some sugar on the top. And then we're gonna put it back in. And it's got 5 minutes left, but if it's still like that in 5 minutes, we're gonna put it back in for another 5 to 10 minutes. We're just gonna keep checking it. There. All right, so it's been 45 minutes and we can tell that it's still not done. So I'm gonna leave it in for another 5 minutes and check it again. So we ended up leaving it in 50 minutes opposed to 45 minutes, but just all depends on your oven and how fast it cooks. But anyway, that is homemade blueberry cobbler.